And we will introduce members. I'm Charles Johnson, Chair of the MAC, and we'll go with members in the room right now. To my left,
Melissa, push the button, Melissa. I'm Melissa Backrack. Ellen O'Connell, Chair of Training, Communications, and Policy Committee. And I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to see everyone. Happy New Year.
and to my right, we have
Doris Hernandez Morales, a member.
okay, and members on Zoom, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Frank Trujillo. I'm in Citrus Heights post-acute because I lost my left leg, but I'm getting it in a couple of weeks now. I'll be able to start walking again. Again, I'm Frank Trujillo. Pleased to meet you all.
Very good, Jeff.
Jeff Tom, Vice Chair.
Pam Floor, Member at Large, representing seniors, and so glad to see Frank is back.
Thank you, Pam.
German Aon.
Could you repeat German?
German Aon with Agency on Aging Area 4.
Thank you. Any other members of MAC on Zoom?
Gene Lozano, representing the interests of at large of people with visual disabilities, and the chair of the Access and Infrastructure Subcommittee. Thank you.
Jacob Miller, client advocate with Alta California Regional Center.
Hello, this is Joseph Rosa. I'm a assistant change advocate for resources for dedicated living.
Okay, I think that should be it. Okay, moving right along, let's approve the minutes from our last meeting, which was in November. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to move ahead too fast. Let's introduce staff in the room.
Priscilla Vargas, staff to the MAC and ADA Compliance Officer. And I'll go to Jamie.
Good afternoon. I'm Jamie Poole-Canterbury, Director of Customer Satisfaction.
I'm Austin Greiner, Administrative Assistant with Accessible Services.
Janetta Burnett, Director of Rural Operations.
Microphone's not on.
Test. Want to do it again, Janetta?
Rural Operations Director, SAC-RT, Janetta Burnett.
Casey Courtwright, Budget Director, Sacramento Regional Transit.
Craig Norman, Director of Engineering and Construction for Regional Transit.
George Kirbyson, Director of Light Rail Maintenance. Vincent Beatty, AVP of Operations.
Blanca Araujo, VP Operations.
Charity Oakley, Director of Bus Operations.
Alberta DeAnda, SAC-RT Superintendent.
Any staff, RT staff members on Zoom? Okay, and then are there any members of the public on Zoom? Okay, members of the public in the room, and Austin, if you could take a mic around.
Margie Donovan.
Oh, hi, Margie.
Hi, Charles, and the MAC and the staff.
Okay, and is that all on Zoom? Or members of the public?
Brandy
Amy
Boyd.
Parkin. Sorry, go ahead. Amy Parkin, paratransiting.
Okay. Any
Hi
other?
there. Testing. Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
No. Okay. I was trying to talk and introduce myself when staff was doing it on Zoom, but apparently my microphone was on a different setting. So, hi everybody. Good afternoon. This is Sarah Poe. I'm with SAC-RT's Planning Department.
Wonderful.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's Barbara Stanton. I'm trying to say hello, but
I well, I guess I'm on, right?
Yes.
Okay. You
Welcome.
can't see me though, right?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know why you can't see me, but I'm here.
Okay. Any other members of the public on Zoom? Okay, members of the public in the room here. And Austin's bringing around a microphone for you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Catherine.
Jackie Tatro.
Austin, one more. Oh, one more.
Hi, Ryan Larson.
Okay, I think that's it for the introductions. Okay, now we can go on to approval of the November minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes as submitted. This is Pam.
This is
Okay.
German, and I second.
All right, all of those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, very good. Let's get on to public comment, and we'll start in the room. Are there any comments from members of the public on items not on the agenda for today? Yes. Austin, could we have a mic? Or Jackie?
Recording in progress.
Austin has a mic for you.
I don't know this. I don't have an agenda, but I know it's not on it. My general comment is that what other besides the first intake of yes, I need Zach Go and I have a service animal. This is what my service dog / miniature horse does task wise. What else goes on beyond that for driver education? Because any breed of dog can be a service animal, and 8 times out of 10, I'm always asked if he's going to bite, attack me, please don't sit by me, all kinds of things like that. And I don't get that with the new puppy, and they're the same exact breed. And I would love if it's needed, I'd be happy to help create like some kind of education program that can include everybody, and also so that the drivers feel safe, because I mean there are fakes out there, and that does not help the service dog community at all. So just to check in.
Okay, thank you for that comment. My understanding is that you can be asked 2 questions. One, what is the issue that your dog is trained to monitor for you? And the, let's see, I guess that's the only ones I can, yeah, right, is there?
Is it a service animal? And what service has it been trained to provide?
That's correct, yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
But your question goes beyond that. And let's see. Right.
I got an invite to unmute. Does that mean I am to speak? I'm not. Go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, just a moment.
Sure.
Priscilla?
Yeah, we have an extensive training program, and there's a lot of effort to make sure that our operators are well aware of service animals and the requirements. with respect to people traveling with service animals. One thing that I strongly encourage, if you're encountering this a great deal, is for us to actually get your concerns documented through our customer satisfaction department so that we know, that this is something you're experiencing. And then secondly, because then we can hone in on the particular driver or operator. Yeah.
Just as a note, for the individual who's speaking, we can't hear you online, or at least I can't.
Oh, she needs the mic. Because we have sign language interpreting too.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Jackie. Thank you very much. And let's see, someone on Zoom wanted to make a comment?
Margie.
Margie,
Yes.
okay.
Thank you, Charles. Two things regarding Sacramento. Again, last night, and I will write this up, I had a non-Folsom driver who insisted on talking to my dog. And so there's obviously an issue going on with RT and service animals, regardless of the amount of training. And then my second thing, if I didn't forget it, bear with me, folks. Now I've been in touch with Alberta and I've been in touch with Blanca about this, but I need to mention it for the record. We're having problems with the credit card readers. And I don't know what the problem is.
I think that's going to be discussed a little bit later on.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad you raised that, though. Okay, any other comments from members of the public in the room? Any additional comments from members of the public on Zoom? Okay, hearing none, let's move on to the chair report. And the first item is adoption of the 2026 work plan. Now, this has been sent out to all members of MAC, and we've had a chance to read through it and make our comments and so on and so forth. And so do I hear a motion to adopt the work plan as submitted?
I make a motion to adopt the work plan.
I'll second.
Helen.
Okay, all of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, we have a 2026 work plan, which will now be submitted to the RT Board of Directors. Fantastic. Couple of more items I want to cover under chair report. And first of all, welcome to everybody for the first MAC meeting in 2026. I'm starting my second term as MAC chair, and Jeff Tom just finished up his third term as MAC chair. And it's sort of a revolving door. And one thing that we would very much like to see is other people step up for these two executive offices, the chair and the vice chair. So we have 2 years before we have another election. So please, all members of the MAC, consider what you might be interested in doing, and please step forward. There are a number of ways that you can do that. If you want to discuss this further, certainly talk to me and probably Jeff. So anyway, just sort of a plea for help here to get Jeff and me off of this revolving wheel. And I should say that Pam also served 2 terms, and those were consecutive terms. The other item I want to mention briefly is that it's great if members of the MAC go to public meetings and mention that you are members of the MAC. However, unless specifically voted by the MAC, your comments should be those as a private citizen and not representing the MAC. Even though you might be in tune with what the MAC is, just make sure that you don't represent that you are speaking for the MAC. Okay, and the last thing is we have an aggressive agenda today. And so I'm going to be a little stingy with time. And so with that, I ask both presenters and people asking questions to be as concise and as brief as possible. All right, let's get going here. Under old business, our first item is Transit Connect update with Casey Courtwright.
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the MAC. I will be as brief as possible here. We have a number of recent developments with our Transit Connect system. Some furthering of the first phase. We're breaking Transit Connect out into 3 phases. I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about phase 1 and phase 2, and we're going to do it in less than like 4 minutes. So
wow,
we'll see if we can do that. Phase 1 of Transit Connect is a mobile app only. We launched that back in September 2025. Sales continue to grow. In February, we're anticipating around $80,000 of fare revenue sold through Transit Connect. That's about 75 to 80% of the adoption of ZipPass currently. So at the end of January, we suspended sales on ZipPass. Customers are able to continue to use existing tickets that they may have. But we're asking people to go ahead and transition over to Transit Connect at this point. And it's gone quite well in terms of we are seeing all of those customers move over. As of last Monday, the board adopted or approved 3 contracts or amendments that really kind of kickstarted us into phase 2 of the project. The first of those contracts was a contract with Scheiden Bachmann, which is our fare vending machines. There'll be an integration between the new Transit Connect back office and our ticket vending machines in the field, where customers will be able to load fare into their Transit Connect app or onto a Transit Connect card via one of our fare vending machines. The second contract that they approved was with Masabi. That's the back office provider for Transit Connect itself. That will allow an implementation of the physical cards that passengers are used to using with Connect Card. Those will be available on Transit Connect in the future as well. We're looking maybe 6 months or so out into the future as to when that may begin to develop. But we'll have that option available for passengers as well. So passengers will be able to use their mobile phone or a physical card and receive the same benefits and back office benefits and all the online benefits with either. The third contract approval was an integration between a company called Kuba and Masabi. Kuba is the provider of the hardware that we see here in the room and that I believe Margie may have been referencing on board all of the vehicles. Those are the credit and debit card readers. They will continue to accept credit and debit cards at all of those readers. They will also in the future be able to accept Transit Connect ticket validations. So if you have a mobile app, if you have a physical card, you'll be tapping your physical card to the same reader as those that are being used for the credit and debit cards. As part of that implementation or part of that contract amendment with Kuba, we also expanded the system to light rail. So we've ordered hardware to go at all of our light rail stations and purchased a modification to the existing Connect Card pedestals to house the units inside themselves. And so for those of you here in the room, you can see the device here itself is encased in a steel box of sorts, completely out of the elements and away from baseball bats and rocks is our primary hope for this, is that we'll be able to protect this hardware, make it last longer out in the field and get rid of some of the issues we've seen with Connect Card. In terms of backing off of Connect Card and ZipPass over time, we have announced a date of April 30th to the public as kind of your last day to use your ZipPass tickets. So if you have remaining ZipPass tickets, you're welcome to continue to use those up through April 30th. Once we get beyond that, we'll work with a transition plan on moving those tickets over to Transit Connect, or there could be another grace period extended beyond that. As we get closer, we'll see how many tickets are left and make that decision internally. For Connect Card itself, you'll continue to see Connect Cards or Connect Card machines in the field up and running probably all the way through calendar year 2026. As we begin to launch new phases and features of Transit Connect, over time, we'll start to roll back from Connect Card in a similar fashion to what we're doing with ZipPass. With that, questions?
Are there any questions from the MAC for Casey in the room?
Melissa.
Yeah, it's Melissa.
Yeah, I have a couple questions. The question that I initially intended to ask when I came in here is all the hype for this new app was because we were supposed to be able to combine all the different kinds of tickets that one might need to buy. And I can buy everything, discount passes, whatever, for the bus and light rail. I've not figured out, including asking the driver, how to buy paratransit tickets on this new app. Somebody explain that to me?
So within the mobile app, in the top right-hand corner of the screen, there's an account button. It looks like a little person kind of up there in the top right corner. You click that. There's a discounts label listed in there. Once you hit the discounts, you can select SAC-RT Go, senior, person with disability, and that'll give you access to additional fares within the app. So it's a self-selection to get you access to the discounts.
But I already did that, and I can buy a discount pass for the light rail, like, because I have a disability, but it doesn't give me access to paratransit. But I'll look at it again, and maybe have one of you guys show me.
Absolutely.
But the other question that I had, now that you just went through your presentation, was, you said something about needing putting something in the field so that people could use a card for the new app. Why would you need a card if you have it on your phone?
So this would be for individuals who may not have a smartphone. It gives them more flexibility to use a physical card that's not a credit or debit card associated with a bank even. They can just pick one up from customer service or retailers around.
Oh, okay. Now I get it. I was like, why do you need both? Okay. Now I get it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Margie. Any other questions from MAC members in the room? Okay, yes, Doris.
Forget every time. Why do we lose Zip? For what reason?
So the Transit Connect mobile app performs precisely the same features as ZipPass. It's just so that we're not running them in parallel and paying for both services that are accomplishing the same thing. So Transit Connect will be ZipPass Plus is a way to see it once we move on. Right now, they're running in parallel for a short period of time while we roll away from one to the other. Yeah.
Any other questions from Mac in the room? Okay, questions for Casey from MAC members on Zoom?
Yeah, this is Frank. Can I ask a question?
Yes, Frank, go right ahead.
Hey, Casey. I talked to, a week ago, I talked to 30 blind members that I represent since I'm on the board of Sacramento Regional Transit, MAC. And a couple of them put them on their phones, and so did I. But I don't know how to do it yet. Will somebody be able to call me and tell me how to do it so that I can update our blind members?
Yeah, we can certainly. We'll set you up with Jamie's team over at Customer Satisfaction, and we'll get you going on that, Frank, for sure.
Okay, so make sure you give them my name. And do you need my number, or do you guys already have my number?
Jamie's looking at it. We've got you, Frank.
You are.
Okay, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, Casey.
Okay. Any other questions for Casey from MAC members on Zoom?
Yes, this is Jeff.
Yes, Jeff.
Casey, will there come? I currently use coupons a lot of the time, all the time, pretty much. Well, not all the time. Anyway, will there come a time when, number one, I can buy coupons and instead of having the regular coupons themselves, I can get them loaded onto the app right after I buy them. And number two, if I can do that, will I be able to then essentially show a coupon on my phone to a UServe and have that? Will that work? Will I be able to work that in that manner?
Yeah, so the UServe operator should be able to accept the electronic coupons. We do sell SAC-RT Go tickets on the Transit Connect app now. So those are equivalent to the coupons that I believe you're referencing. Although those coupons in many cases are purchased by a third-party provider and distributed to passengers. We are working on during the next phase of Transit Connect, there will be a program called the Partner Portal, where third-party subsidizers of transit tickets will be able to purchase tickets on behalf of individuals and distribute to them directly. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions from MAC members on Zoom? Okay. Quickly, are there any questions from members of the public on Zoom? get to you, Jackie.
Margie.
Okay, hearing no.
My hand is raised.
Oh, I can't see it. Okay, Margie, go ahead.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I have a very serious concern about this new app. I have tried it. I do not find it to be accessible. I have spoken with one of the testers of the apps who no longer uses the apps because of lack of accessibility. I'd like this addressed by RT, please.
Thank you, Margie. I will work with we'll work with Priscilla, and maybe we can offer an opportunity like we did similar before with ZipPass, where we can work with you directly on furthering the understanding of the app and stuff like that.
So, Casey, I'm not in a position to do that. And Priscilla has a number of people that's been testing the app. I'm assuming Priscilla's been involved in this, but somebody from Accessible Services. And I'll just say the name here because everybody knows it. Richard Rada has always used RT's apps. He no longer can use them. They're not accessible. So it's not an issue of showing me or me showing you. It's a matter of built-in accessibility, period. Now, I'm not a high-end user. Richard is. So if he can't use it, go ahead.
Margie, this is Priscilla. Are you referring to the Transit Connect or the Sacramento Go app that's been tested?
I'm personally referring to the app where I can buy fares and stuff.
I don't know who was testing that internally. I mean, folks externally.
Margie, I think that's a serious issue, and I would like for maybe Priscilla and Casey to work with you directly offline, and
Thank you.
We'll try to get this solved for you. Okay, any other comments from members of the public on Zoom?
There was a hand raised by Barbara.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, hi. Hi, Casey. How are you?
Good, Barbara.
I have a couple of questions. My daughter and I use the Connect card, and so we would be able to use it through 2026. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's not a set timeline certain, Barbara, but yes, there will be a major marketing campaign and outreach to let customers know when we plan to actually roll off of it, but it's a little ways away still.
Okay, and one more question. If we want to switch from the Connect card to this, to get a new card, can we do it now? And do we go to customer service to do it? And we can put money on this card? Is it going to be used like the Connect card?
So the new cards are not available yet. Those will be coming in the near future here. We will certainly be reaching out to our passengers to let them know when those are available as well. The customer experience will be very similar in that you can add cash value, you can purchase tickets, you can do that all online, you can do that at customer service or at any of the retailers around town that may sell Transit Connect fares. And we'll provide an opportunity for transition from Connect Card to Transit Connect.
Oh, sorry, interrupted you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Casey. Now I understand it better. So as long as we can use it until RT decides to give us directions on how to switch over. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions for Casey from members of the public on Zoom?
There's one more hand from Jeff.
Jeff
Tartagia.
Tartagia. Oh, hi, Jeff. Tartagia, you're muted.
Jeff, check your.
There we go. There we go.
There we go.
You know.
Go ahead.
Oh, we can hear you, Jeff.
Okay, you can hear me. Casey, on the devices used on the in the buses right now, how many of them previously with the Connect card, you had a number of devices that were damaged and got lost? How many of this is now a new system as an app? So there's no direct device in this new system that's going to be out there. Is that correct?
So the bus fleet is in pretty good shape, Jeff, in terms of Connect Card functionality. We rarely have issues with vandalism or hardware not working on the bus fleet. We are aware of issues at light rail with Connect Card where there's just unfortunately vandalism that we can't keep up with. The repairs don't come back as quickly as they're vandalized. So one of the things we're doing with Transit Connect, there will be hardware. It's going to be a direct replacement of the Connect Card machines over time. They'll be installed at the exact same locations, but they do have a steel frame or box that's built around the hardware itself. So the hope is that they'll be more ruggedized, a little bit harder to vandalize. They are far cheaper to replace in the instance that one of them is damaged. So it'll be easier for us to carry an active spare ratio that we can keep up with in terms of replacements and stuff like that in the field.
Okay, question is hardware. Does it have a, should we say, low tech or something in it, you know, so when and if it disappears, you can track it to determine, you know, when it's non-functional. Supposedly in the new devices, there was supposed to be some tracking mechanism that was readily made available in there. Don't know that it happened. So wanting to question whether this new apparatus will be able to determine in case it does disappear from a location that you know how to find it. Just a question through there for hardware dealing with the fact that we've had so much in the past of vandalism on light rail. And it seems like on the bus where you have more cameras and such, you've not had the issue come up with physical hardware equipment. Wondering, and will the Sacramento Food Co-op, which has for refilling the Connect Card, will this likewise have a device there that you can fill up again, or is it only going to be something that's online to put onto this app to use?
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, so in the interest of time, no, there's no tracking device in the tap device itself. So if it's physically removed from the light rail station, we won't know necessarily where it goes. We will know that it's offline. So there's remote monitoring of all the hardware. So we do know if something goes offline that we need to look at it or replace or repair something going on. In terms of the food co-op, I don't know for sure if the food co-op will be a Transit Connect retailer. I'll have to reach out and find out with them if they're partnered with a company called Incom. Incom is a major gift card provider in the area. So they're, you think of the gift card trees or walls you see in CVS, Safeway, Walgreens, all those types of stores. You'll be able to reload your Transit Connect fare at many of those locations once we get that set up here in the future. So there'll be, right now we only have a handful of retailers public retailers that reload Connect cards. There'll be probably near 100 or so in the Sacramento area with Transit Connect. So it'll be a vastly improved experience for the customers in that regard.
All right, Casey.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We sort of have to move on. That was
Absolutely. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, item B, supplemental paratransit services, request for proposal update with Charity Oakley.
All right, good afternoon, members of the MEC. I just want to give a big, brief update for the supplemental paratransit RFP. The proposals have been reviewed and we're now moving into the negotiation phase shortly. Our goal is to bring the recommendation to the board meeting in March. And then following the board approval, all the proposers will be formally notified of the decision. We wanted to say thank you, and we enjoyed everybody's appreciation and help with the support of the RFP. And that's as much as I could tell you about what's going on right now. As soon as we have more, after we bring it to the board, we'll be able to share the results of the decision.
Okay, since you can't tell us very much, okay, I'm going to first ask for questions from the MAC, from members on Zoom. Any questions for Charity? Okay, questions in the room for Charity? Helen?
Hi.
I know you can't give specifics, but I was just wondering how many people we have a choice from, or the RT has to choose from. How many people actually are putting in a bid?
How many companies put in
Yeah.
a bid?
Not sure exactly how much I can share, but there was multiple proposers that submitted a proposal.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'm going to limit this now, and so, oh, Jean, sorry, I can't see. Yes, Jean.
Okay, you're in contract deliberations. I'm wondering if there's a possibility of you specifying Google Maps instead of the company's GPS. We're still having problems with UServe downtown, getting to the county administration building, elsewhere. And the drivers who seem to have the success in getting to the building on their own, including with the assistance of a note that's written from my account, say that they use Google Maps. And that's what gets them right to 700 8th Street. And they have no problem finding other places. And I've heard that for about 6 different drivers. So I would say that seems to be, if there seems to be success in dealing with that, then maybe that could be specified as one of the conditions that the company use Google Maps so that we don't have to go through endless problems in getting to some of the buildings downtown. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the comment, Jean. We'll see what we can do. I know, like I said, the negotiation phase is starting shortly, so I hear your feedback and we'll share what you said.
All right, thanks, Jean. Any other questions from members of the MAC for Charity? Okay, thanks very much, Charity. Appreciate it. And glad to hear things are moving along on that issue. Okay, number C, operator barrier in SAC-RT buses update with Blanca Arroyo.
Good afternoon, members of the MAC. I'm amazed of you pronouncing my last name, by the way. Really good. So my quick update for the barriers is that we had a meeting with you guys a while, I guess now it's a couple months ago, right before the holidays. We have been working and trying to get information from just other agencies, and we did find that Seattle is having experienced the same issue. So at this time, what they're doing is they're working with the same company that we purchased from the barriers from, and they are gonna try to do a different one with about an inch or two more, pushing it in towards the operator. They are working on that right now, and then we'll work with them once they got that one done to bring it over at here at SAC-RT. And what we'll do is we'll install 1 to 2, bring them over to you guys to look at them, and then also have the operators test those out to see what change it does for them to having those 2 inches more towards them. And then we can make a decision on how to take care of those from there. So it's Seattle. It's the other city that we're working with. So we're really working really closely with them to make sure that we don't do it twice. And if they can have it already done for them, then we can bring it in. So that's my update. So I'll continue to give you guys an update as we get any more information.
Okay, very much appreciated that. Okay, questions in the room? Helen, let's keep it as brief as we can.
Blanca, I appreciate your efforts, and I'm glad that you're bringing it to the MAC board before you guys get too far into it, and it can't be addressed in a financial the hardship. As I'm appreciating that you are hearing the issue, you are open to looking at alternatives or different modifications. All that I was really asking for is that everyone can have independent access to public transit. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Helen.
Thanks, Helen. Any other questions for Blanca in the room? Okay, any questions from MAC members on Zoom for Blanca? No? Okay. Again, to keep us moving along, thanks, Blanca. All right. The next item, and we're actually going to do two items here since Alberto's doing this. The first item is SAC-RT Go fourth quarter operations update with Alberta Deanda, and then she's going to do that and then launch into the SAC-RT Go post-launch update. Oh, and Charity's going to join it too. Okay. Yeah.
Good afternoon. We're going to talk about ridership today. We're going to start off with our service ridership. October's numbers for 25 are 26,444. You serve 8,842 for a total combined 35,286. November is 21,886. You serve 8,753 for a combined ridership of 30,639. In December, we had 23,161. You serve 9,641 for a combined 32,802. For on-time performance in October, SAC-RT Go's on-time performance was 73%. You serve 99 for a combined 86%. November, 76%. You serve 99 for a combined of 87. And December, 76%. You serve 99 for a combined of 87%.
Okay. Any questions from MAC members on Zoom? No questions. Any questions from MAC members in the room from MAC members? No. I have about 9 pages of questions. And
Excuse me,
so-
Charles, this is Margie. Someone on Zoom has background noise and it's hard to hear.
Okay. Would people on Zoom? Oh, no, actually, there's background noise here in the room, in the hallway. Thank you. But I'm going to put most of my questions on hold for another time since we're so crunched for time today. But they do have to do with the RT Go on-time performance. And so we'll, I think, circle back around on this. Okay, thanks very much for that. And then I guess the second item you folks are going to address is the post-launch SAC-RT Go update.
Yes. So I want to give a quick update for the SAC-RT Go app. We heard the feedback from riders and we've been working closely with QRide to make improvements. Some of the updates required extra coordination because, as you know, SAC-RT operates just a little different than other services. So we wanted to make sure that the app is working correctly for our specific service needs. Earlier this week, QRide showed us the changes that they've made in the app, and our team is now in the testing phase of those changes because we want to make sure that We tested in live. And then once we tested everything and it's working and it meets our operational needs, we plan on releasing the Zacatego app soon.
Is that both the app as well as the
Consumer portal as well, yeah.
consumer portal as well?
Yep, both.
Yeah, I have one quick thing about the consumer portal, and that is the bus number is not posted for each rides. I can see that when I use the app, but not on the portal.
Okay, okay. I took note that, so thank you, Charles.
That should be an easy one.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions for Charity from MAC members in the room? Seeing none. Any questions for from MAC members on Zoom?
Yes, this is Jeff. So I did send in this to you, Alberta, but I do want to raise it today. So in the past 3 weeks or so, I'll try to be very concise. In the past 3 weeks or so, we've been getting multiple text messages. When we get a U-Serve ride, we get the text messages we've always gotten through the 844 area code thing. And then we've been also getting Q-Ride messages from the 916 area code. And that gets very confusing because you never know for sure whether you're getting, it seems like, well, maybe I'm getting U-Serve and maybe I'm getting a bus. And so I don't really know why that started, but I also don't know why what the benefit of getting both those messages is, because it is confusing.
Question, Jeff. The message you're getting from Q-Ride, the 916 number, is that about your trip update, or is it the information the night before letting you know you have a trip tomorrow?
Both.
Both, okay.
And that's why it's very confusing, because you're getting messages at both times from the 844 and both times from the 916, and so that's why it is so confusing.
Okay, we'll take a look at it. Thank you.
And it's consistent. I mean, it's happening every time.
Any other questions from members of the MAC on Zoom? Okay. Let's see. Are there any questions from members of the public on Zoom?
Margie?
Go ahead, Margie.
Yes, I want to add to what Jeff has said. I find it actually pretty funny that I'm getting these notifications from RT, and it always says, your bus is 15 minutes out. I've had the bus in front of my house and I get that. Or the bus pulls up 2 minutes after. So I'm not sure what the purpose of sending these notifications out that always say 15 minutes and often are inaccurate. Thank you.
Jane?
Okay, thank you. Any comments on that?
We'd have to look at
just a minute, Jean.
We'd have to look at them specifically, but they are an approximate 15-minute.
I want to say
push out message,
the
but
same thing.
Okay. All right, Jean?
I am receiving the message from U-Serve, I believe it's U-Serve, telling me when the driver will be coming, and but I'm not getting any notifications from RT as to the night before telling me you got U-Serve or you have a bus or any indication. And I'm not getting, on the 11th of this month, RT was sending a bus to pick me up at the county building an hour beyond the time of the window, the close of my window pickup. And the only reason I found out about that is because I called the dispatcher and saying, where's my vehicle? It's past the time. And they told me, well, you were to be picked up at 6:10. We're picking you up hopefully at 7:40. We're cramped. And and I got no notification. Awkward where I was standing out on downtown, and and I was surprised that if there was such a crunch going on with RT buses drivers, why wasn't UServe used since I'm eligible for that? Now that you can't answer now, but I'm saying is I'm only getting messages from UServe and nothing from RT telling me anything regarding the status of my rides. Thank you.
Okay, Gene. We'll take a look at your profile and reach out to you if we need to. But I got the information that you shared with us today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any other questions from people on Zoom? Okay.
Hand raised by Jeff Tartagia.
Jeff?
Yeah,
Tartagia?
if you can hear me, it's getting far more difficult to try and raise my hand. I will raise my hand the next item as well. But my experience with using the Go Transit app is your 916 said it'll be here in 15 minutes. And then I will have an immediate message saying it's here. And neither one of them seems to be accurate in determining. And for my particular location, there seems to be some confusion of whether it's the front of the building or the back of the building by which you are driving. I'm only seeing this with the Go Transit app at the moment. Just my comment through there. I hope it's getting resolved. The drivers seem to know, but the app doesn't seem to know.
Okay,
and I'll lower my hand.
Thank you, Jeff. Okay. All right, your comment is noted by Charity. Okay, any other comments by people here in the room? Okay, I think that's it. Thanks, folks. Okay, we're moving on now to the Watt I-80 project update with Ginny Nilo.
I am not Jenny.
You are not Jenny.
She's
we'll
on vacation. She's on a much needed vacation.
We'll let you talk anyway.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to give you a quick update on what's going on with our Watt I-80 Transit Center. As a quick reminder, out at that transit center, we're doing some major work. We're widening Watt Avenue, the crossing over over the I-80 crossing. We're redoing the on-ramps, both on the north side and on the south side. We are also redoing the bus plaza down below and putting in new stairs and lights. We're making good progress. Go ahead and go to the next slide if you don't mind, Austin. We're making good progress, and we expect to be done hopefully by the end of this summer, that everything will be opened up. Right now, we've got we've completed about half of the station work. We have done the plaza down below. We've completed the plaza down below. We redid the lane, the bus lane there, so that part's all ready to go. Next slide. We completed the median up at on Watt Avenue. So that median is in place along with the fence down the median. We had to relocate fiber. We did a lot of work there. Next slide. We also completed the west stairs. So the west stairs are now in operation. There's a lot more light. If you ever get a chance to go by, you'll see that there's a ton of light. It's very open. It's a lot more secure feeling. We're very happy with how that's turning out. Next slide. And so right now where we are is we're working on the east side of the project, which includes widening Watt Avenue. So we have to widen Watt Avenue. We are building the east stairs. So right now, everything at the plaza up above is accessible from the west side. So consequently, we have to have temporary bus stops in place. And that should go on probably, we're hoping again, like I said, we'll have the east stairs done sometime later this summer. Next slide. And so here we have a couple of pictures on the left-hand side. We see the demolition taking place up at the east side of the Watt Avenue Plaza, the bus stop there. And then on the right side, we see that they're building the columns for the stairwells on the east side. So the east stairwells they're working on. Next. Here we have the on-ramp that's completed for the south on-ramp onto to Interstate 80. And the next slide. And this slide is showing that we're working on the on-ramp on the north side. So we're making good progress. I think that's our last slide. Is it the last slide, Austin, or am I? The blank. Black means we're done. So it's making good progress. Like I said, we're on schedule to have it done by the end of this summer. Any questions?
Yes. Any
This,
questions?
Melissa? Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Charles.
Yeah.
I just had a really quick, I don't ever use that station, so I don't know a whole bunch about it, but I noticed from your pictures, I'd like a little bit more of those red truncated domes by the west stairs, because you can only, from the picture, I can only see the front. I couldn't, is there the truncated on the top too? So that if I'm coming along, I'll see that the stairs are there?
The yellow, the
Yeah.
detectable warning tiles. I believe we have them at the top and bottom of the stairs. They're in per whatever the ADA regulation in it is, and I don't have it off the top of my head, but it should be.
Okay. I just couldn't see them. And
Okay. Yeah, we didn't.
Kind of-
Those were some pretty broad, very general pictures. Yeah.
Okay, that's all I needed.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any other questions from members of the MAC in the room?
Fine.
Helen?
Hi.
Hey.
I, like Melissa, have very seldomly used the Watt I-80 because it was extremely uncomfortable when I was there. I know that you've addressed many of the accessibility issues, and you don't have to worry about all that other stuff that was happening there. I'm happy to see that it has been addressed and that people's input has been taken into account. Are you planning to have like a pre-grand opening time when people with different disabilities could go through and see if they have any issues before you open the station?
So we won't have a specific time. What we do is as soon as the stairs are able to be used, we open it. And so we don't really have a time for everyone to check it out before we open it. We just make sure we want to open it as soon as possible so it's available to the public. So as soon as we go through and make sure that the construction has been done per the plans and that it is compliant with all the regulations, we open it. We will, I'm guessing that we love to have grand openings whenever we can. I'm not directly involved with that, but I'm sure that we will have one.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from MAC members in the room? Okay, any questions from MAC members on Zoom?
Gene?
Yeah, Jane?
Yeah. I was curious, for clarification, the plaza area on the level with Watt Avenue, is that still the same size? Or did it get enlarged as well as the lower level? You know?
It's roughly the same size, Gene, but the configuration has changed for the stairs. So
Okay.
it's slightly bigger because the stairs don't take up as much room. But
Okay.
it's pretty hard. Yeah, it's essentially the same size.
Okay, great. The other question is, if some way or another you could pass on to Priscilla confirmation whether detectable warnings were put at the top and bottom of the staircases, and if they were, I was curious how far back were they set from the leading edge of the upper approach of the step going toward the detectable warnings. how, because I imagine if the contractor did put them in, they must be set back a distance for safety reasons. So if we could find that out, assuming there are detectable warnings, because they're not in the California Building Code. So that's all I want to check on. Thank you.
Okay, so you want to check and see if there are DWT tiles at the top and
upper,
bottom of the
lower,
stairs
or-
and what the offset is from the stairs. Is that what you're asking?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Thank you.
Any other questions from MAC members on Zoom? Okay, any questions from members of the public on Zoom? Okay, any questions from members of the public in the room? All right. Well, Ginny, that was a great presentation. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Okay, moving on. S700 LRV post-launch update with Vincent Beatty and George Kirbyson, one or both? All right.
I told him I'm not afraid. You guys are friendly. How are you? Good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
So just to keep it brief, because I know time is of the essence, we do have a couple of updates. The big one that I'm sure everybody is awaiting is the ADA tape switch change that we're making. We did receive that software back at the end of November, beginning of December. And as we started doing testing, we found some flaws. And so we sent that back to the engineering group from our door manufacturer. And their software team was working on some revisions. They did produce another version of the test software. And as the Siemens engineering group was doing their internal testing with their engineers, they identified some additional areas that need to be addressed. So the door software is a little bit more complex than what some people might realize because it touches a couple of different systems within the train. So while the door control software itself, those changes were successful, there were some issues that were being introduced that affected the vehicle control unit software. And so now they're trying to work through those issues. Our Siemens rep for the project is working really well to keep on them about getting that timeline as tight as we can. And so I'm hoping that we'll have something here in our next MAC meeting, be able to give you some better information that hopefully we've gotten solved. And we can move forward with getting that tested in the field and then implemented. So other than that, the commissioning work is ongoing. We're actually commissioning another vehicle tomorrow. We've got LRV 430 that'll be getting commissioned tomorrow. And then we're receiving another LRV tonight. We'll be getting our 37th car. And then I've got 4 vehicles right now going through the commissioning process. So it's really active. Yeah, really active. But I don't know if you've seen it yet, but the first car that we have that has the side view mirrors, LRV 429, is in revenue service now. And so every new vehicle that you'll see will have the side view mirrors, just as an FYI. Other than that, if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer.
Okay, Helen?
You guys have done a really good job of catching up to all the issues. I'm glad that it has been addressed, and I'm glad that you're finding all the bugs before we get them all installed. But I was concerned that all the retrofitting for all the changes that you've come up with to fix the problems, how's that going? And how much is that retrofitting actually costing?
So a lot of the retrofits have been driven by feedback either from the public or from operations staff. And they're not costly. Most of them are not very costly. It really depends on what they are. I mean, there's a couple, I think we've spent in total about maybe $1 million across the project for the change orders that we've done that have affected some type of retrofit. We have a couple of them that are actually pending, that are kind of invisible to the public. We have one that will address the PA announcement handoff. That's coming here in a couple months. We should be getting that started probably late spring, early summer. We should have everything in place to start doing that retrofit, and that's a quick retrofit. It's another software change to make that button work a little bit differently, but it will be invisible, the change, other than the fact that you won't have the issue of when the operator needs to make an announcement manually, it won't reset your PA system. So, but we do have others that are ongoing right now. We have 20 cars that we just did a retrofit for. There's a bracket on the center truck for a speed sensor that feeds into the car control unit to help make your ride smooth, make your braking smooth. That we've got 20 cars of the 36 cars that we have, they're completed. That vendor is back overseas celebrating Chinese New Year. He's out of a company from China, but he'll be returning once that holiday is over and complete the rest of the cars that we have.
What about the speaker relocation? We're dealing with the touch strip now, right? And the accessibility override for people coming out of the train.
And those are part of that's that tape switch software update that I was talking about first. The location change for the speaker for the door announcements, we have 22 vehicles completed. I've got a couple of vehicles that were unfortunately involved in accidents and they're still pending because we've got repairs that are being made to those cars. But we do have 22 of those vehicles that FMI or field modification has already been completed.
Thank you very much. I'm glad that you guys are getting the job done.
Yeah, we're very, very busy out there, actually.
Okay, any other questions? Yes.
This is Melissa. Again, thank you for all the work you're doing on the tape switch thing. I still get times when I press the button, but somebody else pressed it first, and the door opens without the ramp coming out, which is really scary because if you're blind, you're in trouble. But that doesn't happen very often. And by the way, pass it on to the drivers. Some of the drivers, when they see me get on, they'll come out and ask, where are you getting off at? And that's really nice when they have time to do that. But the main thing I wanted to say is I used to hear an announcement that said, this is a low floor train coming. Please get on the platform to board the train or whatever it said. I don't hear that anymore. Is that purpose?
Yeah, so that change happened when we were completely a low floor gold line. So there was no need to inform anybody because all of the trains running on the gold line are now low floor cars.
Okay, just wanted to make sure because I hadn't heard it in like 6 months.
And Melissa, we haven't had a mixed consist on the gold line since September. So it's been the S700 since September of last year.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and so you'll see, just to kind of give you a preview of what's coming next, you'll see a lot of work going on the blue line to get the blue line ready for low floor cars. So don't be surprised if you see a lot of activity starting here in the next couple of weeks as we get the blue line prepared for the low floor fleet.
One more question really quick. I had asked a long time ago for some signage that I could see. Is that still happening?
It is. It is. We're actually, I think weekly, I'm getting updates with our marketing team for additional signage that's being put in the vehicles.
Not inside.
Oh, you're talking about outside? Yes. I'm sorry. I'm so used to talking about the LRVs, but yes, there is signage. So actually we just completed a project meeting here a couple weeks ago that's going to address the digital messaging sign in the station with other amenities that are going to be added too.
Yay, thank you.
You were talking about the location of the signs that tell you what station you're in. Because if you're in the low floor cars, you can't see them.
Yeah.
They're way up too high.
Yeah, so there's some changes that are going on. Actually, Vince and I are both on the team that has that project in our laps. And we literally just completed some negotiations on that a little over a week ago. And those changes will be coming soon too.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from MAC members on Zoom?
Gene,
Yes, Jane.
two questions. One is, after you have a vehicle with all the improvements made, is there a possibility for a vehicle to be put at a location where you might have another opportunity for the for seniors and people with disabilities to see how that operates, and it would also be an opportunity for people who've requested the speaker to be lowered and see how more effective it is with the sound indicating that the ramp is coming out. To have those, and rather than just relying on people, hopefully giving feedback through customer service on what they like something or don't like it. And I think just it would be good to have another opening of just showing the vehicle off after the bugs are all worked out. The other thing is, I can't remember now. I just lost. Oh yeah, the gold line, and this is straying out, and Craig's there. But how much do you think the directional tie, since it's 100% low floor vehicles on that line, when will all the door indicators be installed there? Or are you going to still wait until the fleet is a totally 100% low floor, or that when the blue line construction is completed? Because I get that question often, and I wanted to find out, since the gold line now is all low floor. So
Yeah.
if somebody can respond to those.
I can actually answer both of those for you. So the first question is, yes, we do have plans to have another outreach. Once we get some of these upgrades made to the vehicles. I've actually talked with our marketing department already. And we'll work with Priscilla to make sure that all of the invitations are given out when we're ready to do that. As far as the second question goes, yes, unfortunately, we do have to wait until we're 100% because the resources that we have in the contract for that station platform adjustments is now working on blue line adjustments, and then they'll be going back out. So one of the things that you may see here in the next couple of weeks is you may see a low floor car running on the blue line with test decals in the windows, and it'll have a head sign that says a test vehicle. It's not a revenue vehicle. We're going in and making the markings for the door placement in those stations so that as they're raising those platforms, we get the correct locations for the DWTs for the new alignment ahead of the cars running out there. So you'll see vehicles out there that we're running in test to get those markings and measurements made. But yeah, we do have to wait until we're done with the conversion, and then we'll be actually going back to those stations and reconfiguring those stations solely for a low floor fleet.
Are we on schedule for meeting deadlines?
Thank you.
We are, yeah, we're on schedule now. It's always something new. We are always working on something, but so far that project is on schedule.
Fantastic.
Great, thank you very much.
Any other questions from MAC members on Zoom? Okay, hearing none. Any questions from members of the public on Zoom?
Jeff Tartagia.
Okay, Jeff, one question, please.
Okay. You said 33 to 36 vehicles. How many of them, or how long is it going to be before they are all converted for the shall we say, inside overriding the outside on the door openings? Do you have a
So-
timetable on that?
Once we get a good test on the software, in other words, after they do, so they'll do some backline testing before we install it on a vehicle. They'll test it on a bench setup with some software engineers at Siemens. Once that's completed successfully, they'll hand it to the Siemens team in the field at our commissioning location, which is out at my shop. And we'll install it on a vehicle and we'll do some static testing there in the shop. Then we'll run that car off revenue service to test it in the field. And then we'll start the rollout to the fleet. Once we get solid data confirming that we've got a good software version, I anticipate we'll be able to roll it out to a fleet in a matter of 2 weeks. It's just really getting through those testing phases and proving the software to be reliable and not causing any issues with other systems. We don't want to induce another problem, right? We want to make sure we've got a good product before we push it to the fleet so that we don't have to go back and reinstall software. But it's a pretty quick process. We get through it pretty quickly.
I have a question. For the marketing program, I would like to see, I don't know if this is possible, but I would like to see if we could notify a lot of the disability organizations like Area 4 on Aging and all the others that address different disabilities and send it out to like maybe their headquarters or something so it can go out to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
I don't know what the logistics are, but
That's where Priscilla can help.
But
We'll make sure that she.
we need to do a better job of getting the information that we have out when we do a public announcement, you know, it needs to go out to all the people. And if they're of a certain disability, they still need to know.
Yep.
And I've noticed that hasn't been happening very well.
Yeah.
I mean, we have small little pockets here and there,
Yeah.
but we need to have it more uniform.
Well, fortunately, Helen, I can say that doesn't fall on my shoulders there, that responsibility, right? But we will do our best.
Put it out.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And we'll do our best to communicate with
Marketing.
Priscilla's group and our marketing group to make sure we get as broad of outreach as we can to make sure that everybody's aware, right, and invited. So.
Thank you.
I would like to go back. Are there any other comments from members on Zoom? Gene?
Charles, Gene.
Yeah.
I just would like to respond, and that is the demonstration that was done in August, I guess 2 years ago or so, maybe I'm off on my years, but of the vehicle, the low floor vehicle. The list was extensive. There were several of us working with staff on that, and that was quite a list, and a lot of us did outreach to different groups, trying to convince them to bring in people, even at schools, to bring in the school children, adolescents, and it was very disappointing, the turnout. Absolutely agree. But I can say RT did do everything they possibly could with the information that they gathered, as well as us as MAC members, providing them with contact people, and the information did go out. I can vouch for that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Gene. Any other comments from people on Zoom? Okay,
I'm sorry, this is Jeff, but I haven't heard the answer to the question of, are you expecting, like, was it the Green Line reopening by June of this year? Is that when you expect that you will have these retrofit done for the inside to the outside on the doors?
I sure hope so.
That was my question.
I hope so, Jeff. Yeah, I hope we will. I've been keeping pressure on the project manager on the Siemens side to make sure that we're following up with the door control manufacturer engineering team that's doing the software upgrades, and the internal Siemens engineers that are working on the vehicle control unit side of those software changes. That is like our critical item with them right now, as far as the project flow goes. And I would really expect that we'll be there by that time, barring any major upsets. I think we'll actually beat that timeline, but we'll keep you posted.
All right, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Still
very
have
much.
a normal the car.
I'm sorry, what?
The admin.
Oh, you're breaking up. I'm sorry. Can't hear you. Okay, guys. That's good. Okay, we have a couple of items and about half an hour to go. So we actually have new business today. Safe Routes to Transit Plan with Sarah Poe. There she is.
Hello, here I am. I have my camera on now. Good afternoon. I'm Sarah Poe, Senior Planner with SACRT. I did send Austin some slides. I don't know if you could throw those up or if they are up already.
Just 1 second.
Sure.
There we go. Okay, Sarah, they're up.
Okay, perfect. Yep, I see them. Great. So yeah, I'm here this afternoon to present the SACRT Safe Routes to Transit Plan. This is a Caltrans funded plan, and SACRT is working on this effort in partnership with DKS Associates. You can go to the next slide, please. So to get us started, I want to first cover what a Safe Routes to Transit plan is. It's a safety plan. We may all be familiar with Safe Routes to Schools plans, but there is no Sacramento countywide plan for Safe Routes to Transit. So with that said, this plan we are developing here will focus on improving and promoting safe and convenient access to public transit. It focuses on walking, biking, rolling, and those first last mile connections to our stops and stations. The plan identifies barriers like unsafe crossings, missing sidewalks, and poor lighting conditions, and prioritizes infrastructure improvements near our stops and stations, and incorporates equity by addressing needs in underserved communities. The plan uses data and community input to guide the recommendations, and ultimately the plan is aimed to support an increase in transit ridership as well. Next slide. So the scope of this plan starts with SACRT's service area, which is 438 square miles. It includes a network of about 82 bus routes, 3 light rail lines, and several on-demand transportation zones. Our scope includes multiple jurisdictions like the cities of Sacramento, Rancho Cordova, Folsom, Elk Grove, Citrus Heights, and the county. So with this large of a scope, we are focused in on looking at corridors in areas that are within a half-a-mile walkshed of transit stops and stations, and within a 1-mile bike shed of stops and stations. Next slide. So we have some big picture goals for this plan. One is to provide a safer environment for people walking and biking to transit. And the other is to encourage more people to walk and bike to transit. Maybe new people that aren't able to use transit right now because of barriers or because they have safety concerns. This slide does show how the plan will prioritize recommendations, and that will be based on these circumstances. The highest priority will be the high crash locations where people are walking and biking to transit. Next are the locations where people, ooh, no, thanks. Okay, so next are the locations where people walk and bike to transit that have safety concerns. We will next prioritize the locations with infrastructure gaps where people could walk and bike to transit. And then the locations with barriers that are keeping people from walking and biking to transit as well. Now you can flip to the next one. So the crash data and the ridership data only tells us so much. We need to collaborate with others to be able to get the information we need to focus on and identify where the priority locations are and what exists out there in our service area. So one way to do that is to coordinate with our partners. We are having one-on-one meetings with each jurisdiction to share what we're seeing in the data and present the priority locations for improvements. We're looking to obtain consensus before taking the information to the public for input and find out if there are maybe other priority locations that we should be looking at, other locations that perhaps isn't seen in the data. Next slide. Community engagement is another key piece to informing this plan. We've identified priority locations and are gearing up for some public workshops so we can share the information and get input on those. We will be holding 6 workshops starting next week. 5 will be in person in locations spread throughout the service area, and 1 will be virtual. So the project team will present and gather feedback on priority locations for improvements. We will deliver a brief presentation to begin each workshop and then move on to an open house format. We will have board exhibits for viewing and plenty of staff and members of the project team in attendance to assist with the exhibits and the interactive map and collecting input and comments on those. So also on this slide, it does show our workshop flyer. The flyer just lists all of the workshop locations, dates, and times. I'll just announce them real quickly. The first workshop will be held in Rancho Cordova at City Hall next Tuesday, the 24th. And then on Wednesday, the 25th, we will be at Bell Coolidge Library. Wednesday, March 4th will be the virtual workshop. And then Thursday, March 5th will be at Citrus Heights City Hall. Thursday, March 10th, we will be at the Elk Grove Library. And Wednesday, March 11th, we will be at the Andy Moran Sports Complex in Folsom. And all of the public workshops have a start time of 5:30 p.m. So they're scheduled to run between 5:30 and 7 p.m. And we can go to the next slide. In addition to our public workshops, we also have some other engagement activities happening. We have our interactive map and survey available online right now. We have posted to social media about this project and are pushing information out about how to engage and participate in the workshops. We've developed flyers and are distributing those at other meetings and events to grow awareness and hopefully boost workshop attendance. Once the workshops are wrapped up, we will be out in the field doing some field audits at some of the priority locations. And we'll plan to attend some pop-up events to advertise this project as well. So the project webpage is shown. It's sacrt.com/safe routes. So please feel free to visit that page anytime for updates. And we can move on to the next slide, which I believe is the last slide. And this slide just shows the project schedule. So you can see where we're at in our timeline right now and what tasks we have ahead of us. We've completed the existing conditions. We've identified priority locations, which is what we're presenting at our public workshops. And once the workshops wrap, we will get into the countermeasure identification and then start working on the draft plan in August through November. We're targeting finalizing the plan in December and taking it to the board in January 2027. So I feel like I just gave a bunch of information and talked really fast, but that concludes my presentation on the Safe Routes to Transit plan. I apologize, I don't have a slide here to throw up with my contact info, but if anyone has questions related to the project, feel free to reach out to me at spoe@sacrt.com. And I thank you for your time. And
Thanks
I'm
very-
happy to take questions now.
Okay, Sarah, thank you very much. Are there any questions from MAC members on Zoom? Yeah. Oh, okay, any questions from MAC members in the room? Okay, any questions from members of the public in the room? Any questions from members of the public on Zoom?
Jeff Tartagia.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Sarah, my question is, before we were asking dealing with location and you on there had by car, by bike, you didn't have any dealing with the disabled of how they use electric wheelchair to get to basically a light rail location. Principal, are you with this survey or doing another survey that will have questions of that nature on?
Jeff, I'm sorry, Jeff, this is Priscilla, but we're hearing every other word, so we're not understanding exactly what you're asking. If you want to put it in the chat, maybe, if that would help.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Priscilla. Thanks, Jeff. Okay, any other questions from members of the public on Zoom? Okay, we'll look forward to Jeff's comment in the chat.
Pass it
I'll
on.
keep an eye on it, yeah.
Okay.
Pass it on to Sarah.
Austin, any other thing you had there? Okay, great. Okay, Sarah, many thanks for a lot of good information quickly presented, and I very much liked your slides too.
Great.
Okay.
Thanks.
Very good. Okay, moving on, the shape the future of SAC-RT survey with Anthony Adams.
Mr. Johnson, good afternoon. Anthony Adams, Director of Planning for Regional Transit. I'm here to discuss our ongoing outreach for SAC-RT 2050. It's our visionary document that we're going to be putting together that looks at not only short-range improvements, but also long-range improvements. What do you want the vision of SAC-RT and this region to look like by 2050? So as part of this effort, we have a few outreach tools that we are sharing with the public. If you scroll down a little bit there, Austin. You can see right there on the Take the Survey. So as part of the survey, there's about 10 questions or so. And when you click one of the next buttons, a map comes up as well. And that map, what we want folks to do is be able to draw where you're coming and where you're going. So if we're missing a route, if we're missing some sort of service, we want you to be able to visually show us where that is. Now, that is obviously a shortcoming for folks who need to be able to see the map. So we got a comment that we need to make this more accessible. We heard that, we agree. So as part of this now, you can see it's the second sentence under Take the Survey. It now says, we added this just a few days ago, for those with visual impairments having trouble with, oh, don't click on that survey, don't worry about it. For those having visual impairments having trouble accessing or filling out the survey, please call, and then the number is there for assistance. So we do have a SAC-RT staff person, Rowan Brandt, who is actually our assistant planner, who will answer that call and go through the survey question by question and also fill out that visual mapping tool as requested. So that is the way that we're trying to meet halfway, as it were, to see if we can accommodate folks that aren't able to see that mapping tool, but still give them the opportunity to share their information and their desires. So I do have one more update on the streetcar afterwards, but I'll take any questions now on the survey and the mapping tool.
Okay, Helen?
Yes. When it listed the different modes of transportation, I noted a major lack. There was no RT go on the list.
Okay.
So if there's no RT Go on the list
Mhm.
and it's the normal way you use RT,
Mhm.
again, why is RT Go at the back of the list when everybody else is on the list? It's been a perpetual problem.
Mhm.
RT Go has normally been an afterthought. That needs to change.
Understood. I agree with you. We should have RT Go on the survey. The reason probably it wasn't on is this is for like frequency improvements on fixed routes. So for RT Go, you call and you get it within 24 hours. So like that necessarily wouldn't change as part of this. What we might have is you requesting that we have newer vehicles or that we, whatever it may be as part of that survey, we should give you that opportunity to say that. So I apologize. That's why it was overlooked, but is not okay. So we'll make sure to add Go to the survey.
Thank you very much.
Any other comments or questions from MAC members in the room? Okay, questions or comments from MAC members on Zoom?
Yeah, this is Jeff. I just have a comment, and two, I guess. First, I just want to second and appreciate the comment that Helen just made, because she's right, it's a perennial problem. I would like to see, my second comment, I would like to see on our next meeting a brief look at the accessible formats policy. I'm not totally sure if that's the right place, but I think there needs to be some sort of protocol to avoid the specific type of problem with this survey in terms of not being accessible, because this isn't the first time that we've had a survey. And same thing with things like, maps at workshops and things like that, or even the operational analysis had issues. And we may want to look at putting some sort of a protocol in the accessible formats policy. I don't know if that's the right place, but I'd like to see that on the next meeting agenda.
Can I just add to your comment, Jeff, that's a great idea. This policy was adopted by our board of directors, so it is something that should be broadly known by SACRT staff, and we'll make sure to emphasize that following this meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Any other comments or questions from MAC members on Zoom?
Jane?
Yes, Jane.
Jane, it's been a while since we've looked at the accessible format method communication, but I don't think it addresses directly about interactive survey maps or workshops where maps are being shown, alternatives. So I think, we're not against having them, because there's merit to having the interactive maps, but the alternative built in needs to be addressed. I mean, Anthony has done that, and Sarah Poe has done it with the safe routes for transit, responded to that. But we need something so that when these projects come up, that automatically that is something that staff need to talk to their consultant team, saying, okay, if we're going to have an interactive map of some kind, we got to have something that addresses the needs of people with cognitive and or visual disabilities. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from MAC members on Zoom? Okay, any questions or comments from members of the public on Zoom?
Jeff Tartagia.
Hey, Jeff, one question. Jeff? I'm afraid, Jeff, your mic is not working. So again, put it in the chat if you would. Thank you.
Jeff had left a question in the chat for Sarah, wanting to know about the last survey for disabled riders' means of travel.
Okay, let's get that to Sarah and she'll get back to him since her presentation is over. Okay, anything else on chat for Anthony?
Margie?
Oh, Margie?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to add a little more to the accessible topic on documents, maps, etc. And this isn't often thought of. So first of all, I want to commend you for having at least given it some thought and setting up a staff member that can be called. That's a great step, and it begins right there. What isn't realized here is that restricts us during the days and times that people with disabilities can complete the survey. And due to a number of things, somebody working full-time as an example, they may not be able to call during the day. And the advantage of making it accessible is we have full access like any, I'll say sighted person at this point, because I'm blind, like of any sighted 24/7. Thank you.
Margie, although I would not recommend you to call him at midnight, it is a salaried staff person. So if the call came at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m., that's okay.
Says you.
Well, I'm his boss, so it's okay. Yeah, says me.
All right. Okay, any other questions from members of the public in the room here? All right, Anthony, thank you very much.
Yeah, just brief update. I did have a request to do a brief update for streetcar. I will have a more formal presentation in the next couple of months. We want to present this to the board first in its totality before we bring it to other commissions, other committees. But there is good news since the last time I gave this presentation, I think a year and a half, even 2 years ago, when we were in the 29th Street or something like that. At the time, SACRT had recently taken sponsorship of that project. We had about a $40 million shortfall to get that project going. We've since closed that shortfall. We got $36 million from the feds and a further 8 from the state. So actually 42 is what we've gotten awarded in the past year and a half. We released the project for public comment in December 16th, and we closed it February 12th. We received 63 comments, as well as 6 letters as well. So over half of those folks were supportive of the project. The other folks had some concerns about the project, which we are addressing and have taken quite a few one-on-one meetings with concerned individuals as well. So we're looking to address any concerns and make sure that we minimize the impacts of this project while espousing the benefits of the first light rail connection across the bridge. So that's my brief update. We are still hoping to have this be similar to our existing light rail system. It'll just be one car rather than 2 or 3 like our current light rail system. It's just a streetcar at the moment, but we'll function the same. We'll have the same level boarding or close to level boarding that we have now and use the same vehicles. So I'll take any questions on that briefly.
Any questions from members? Helen?
Hello. I believe if I heard you right, you were going to bring it to the board before you brought the presentation to other entities.
Mhm.
Would that include the MAC board?
The SACRT board first, and then we'll bring it to other committees, including the MAC board. Yeah.
Okay, but that seems to be the problem. Bring it to the MAC board first for input and then take it to the board.
Might be some sensitive information that the board has to comment on before we say this is the position of SACRT. So I would agree with you most of the time, except for this one, which is an environmental action, the CEQA and the impacts and things like that. So we need a little bit of direction, and then we would like to inform what that direction is.
Yeah, as long as we have input before the final presentation to the board for acceptance.
Understood.
Thank you.
Thanks, Helen. Any other questions or comments from members of the MAC in the room? Questions or comments from MAC members on Zoom? No. Questions or comments from members of the public on Zoom? Okay, questions or comments from members of the public in the room? Okay, Anthony, thanks very much for both updates. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay, Other business, last but not least, announcements or council members' request for information, and I'll start with Priscilla.
Yeah, I have two announcements. One is to share with everybody that we are planning to have a Sacramento Go open house on April 18, which is a Saturday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. and it will be in this room. There'll be a lot of information that comes out in the coming month and a half or so, but thought since we had our meeting today, I'd give everybody a heads up that open house is going to occur on April 18. And I don't have the agenda finalized yet either, but we did want to give you plenty of advance notice. The other announcement has to do with sign language interpreting. Again, apologies for recent meeting cancellations due to the inability to have the sign language interpreting set up for our MAC meeting. We have now established 3 vendor contracts, so not one, and we will have a lot more flexibility with utilization of sign language interpreting and should not experience any issues moving forward. So wanted to share that with everybody again and let you know that we are in a good place now.
Okay, Priscilla, thanks for both of those announcements. Okay, any MAC member in the room have an announcement or request for information? Any requests by MAC members on Zoom? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you, Helen.
Okay.
Okay, go.
I was wondering who I speak to for current policies as they pertain to accessibility. For each different thing. I mean, we want to make sure that all the policies are known to everyone so that if there's a breach, that someone can address that specific issue that is being breached. Is that a possibility?
That's a good question, and maybe you and Priscilla, and if you want me, can noodle on that and come up with something.
Yeah, I mean, we did just, like I said, the accessibility policy that we developed in conjunction with Mac's assistance was something that I think has been on the list for a long time to be done. And we finally were able to get that accomplished. I mean, I looked at history and it was a long time ago. So at least we're moving forward with some accomplishments there. But probably more specifics, Helen, that we can talk about to understand what you're looking for would be helpful.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, I'll try and get in touch with you at a different date.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, any other issues from MAC members in the room? Anything from MAC members on, Gene? On
Yeah.
Zoom? Yes, go ahead, Gene.
The city of Sacramento has has a new project, 8th Street project, and they are going to be putting two-way class 4 bicycle lanes down 8th Street, and I'm particularly interested in seeing if there'll be impact on RT between 7th and 8th Street. This is on H. Right now, light rail goes down there, and I understood that RT was planning to double track that portion of 8th Street, and I'm wondering if that's some kind of presentation we might get to better understand how this new bicycle lane that'll be going in there, if it's going to have any direct impact on RT double tracking 8th Street, because it's not particularly a wide street as most downtown streets are. So I just thought I'd bring that up and ask if there's going to be impact on RT, if we could have a presentation about that before the city settles on this plan, which is very much pro bicycle. Thank you.
Very good, Jane. I appreciate that. Maybe we can bring that up at the next executive meeting and see what we can plan on that.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
There was one announcement at a meeting last year. It was asked how many blind individuals applied for SAC-RT Flex. We have found out that of the 3,340 SAC-RT Flex users, 298 identify as blind individuals. That's 9% of all users.
Great. Very good. Okay, anything else on this item? All right.
Actually, one more thing, and that
Oh,
has to
one
do
more
with the
thing.
handbook. Now that the work plan has been adopted, we have the handbook completed as well that we'll send to everyone. And I guess Austin could shoot out an email and ask whether they want a hard copy or electronic.
Okay, very good.
I would like hard copy, please.
Okay. All right, with that, I look forward to seeing everyone again on March 19 for our March meeting. And thanks very much. And do I hear a motion to adjourn the MEC meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second. Second.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I'm not going to ask about no's. The meeting's adjourned. All right.